guess when I was about 12 years old, someone called me a Buddha head. And I really didn't know what a Buddha head was. I had never heard that word before, but I was the only person there. And I turned around to see who was talking. And there was this girl that looked to be about my age, but she was stockier, okay? She probably was shorter than me because I've always been tall. But compared to her, I was a noodle, all right? I was just tall and thin. But at any rate, so I see this girl. She's kind of a distance away from me. Before I could say anything, she said it again. Buddha head. So I just assumed that she was talking to me. And I wasn't really sure what a Buddha head was. I never heard that term, and I'm not sure at 12 years old if I was familiar with Buddha. For some reason, I knew it had something to do with my Asian appearance at the time, okay? And I knew it wasn't anything nice, all right, because of the way she said it. I said to her, I'm just as black as you are. And when I said that, the girl started running towards me. I swear to God, she looked like a big bear coming towards me. I really wanted to take off and run. But my pride wouldn't let me. She runs right up to me and says, who are you calling black? So I say to her, and I'm really scared, right? I'm calling you and me black, both of us. We're both black, and I want you to know that. And she didn't know what to say. So I just turned around and walked on home. Fast forward to start of school. She's not in my class, but I see her on the playground and she sees me and I see her seeing me, right? And evidently she walks in the same direction I walked in. And so for about a week, she just bugged the hell out of me, okay? She would follow me and push me. One time she grabbed one of my ponytails and she grabbed both of them actually. Grabbed them both from the back and trying to twirl me around, right? So I'm like, I knew her name, Rosemary. So I'm whining, let go of my hand, instead of popping her like I should have, but I was too afraid to hit her, right? A lady comes running outside of her house and she pulls Rosemary off of me. Evidently, she had seen me walking that same route for the past 5 years. She knew who I was, and Rosemary was new. The woman walked me home. I was a latchkey kid, and I, got in the house before anyone knew. So I pretty much would just suffer the humiliation day after day, but I wouldn't tell anybody. Why? Well, because first of all, I was a popular kid. And I was so embarrassed that I was being bullied and bothered so much by this person. I didn't tell anyone and was just hoping that it would blow over. Then it happened. She put me in a position where I had to tell. One day, she pushed me from the back. I fall down, and she takes my shoes off my feet and runs away. Ay. So, of course, I'm a latchkey kid. I get home before my parents get home. I'm trying to think of what I'm going to say because these were my I only got one pair of new shoes for school. And they're gone. I don't know what I'm going to say, what I'm going to do. So I don't say anything. The next day, I get myself ready for school. And I put on my Sunday school shoes. And so she's like, what? Huh? What's with your Sunday school shoes on? And I was like, well, I just wanted to wear something different. I don't know. Finally, I told her, I said, this girl, Rosemary, has been bothering me, and she took my shoes yesterday. She's like, what? So I can't exactly remember what happened after that, if my mother did anything or not. But I do remember that we would have dinner. And my parents loved to talk about people in the neighborhood. And you'd see people walking back and forth. Oh, look at Maurice. Oh, look at Vicky. And for some reason, my father knew everybody. And he would have a little comment like, oh, how you know that? But anyway, here comes Rosemary walking across the front window while me and my parents are having dinner. And I said, that's Rosemary. And my mother said, that's Rosemary? I said, that's Rosemary. My father gets up from the dinner table, walks outside. My mother and I opened the window. You could hear him say, Rosemary, wait, I want to talk to you. She waited. He walked across the street. My father is probably in his 50s by now, okay, or late 40s. Rosemary is 12 or 13 years old, all right? Not a pretty girl. a big, hefty girl. She just probably the type that walked around with her, her fist balled up, okay? I mean, she looked mad all the time. Anyway, so my father goes across the street. Now, we can't hear what's being said. But Rosemary is, listening to my father. All right, my father's talking. He's not pointing his fingers or doing, he's just talking and kind of laughing. And then we see my father put his hand on her shoulder and, and he's talking to her. And she's looking up like, oh, yeah, and smiling. And he's smiling. And I'm thinking, why are they smiling? So she walks away and he walks back to the house. He sits at the table. He says, you shouldn't have any more problems with Rosemary. Just make sure every time you see her, you wave and you say, hi, Rosemary. I said, really? Huh? There's just two things that I remember happened after that. One, I don't remember ever seeing Rosemary at school again. Not ever. She wasn't in any of my classes, but I never saw her on the playground. I never saw her walking to school or in the neighborhood. Never saw Rosemary again, except for one time. And this was when my father and I were in the car. He was driving down the street, and Rosemary was walking in the opposite direction. She saw us, and we saw her. My father said, what did I tell you to do? And I turned, hi, Rosemary. And Rosemary was so happy. She started waving, okay? And I rolled down the window so she could hear me say, hi, Rosemary. And when she said hi back, she said, hi, Mr. Freeman. Didn't say one word to me. Not one word, like I wasn't even there. Later on, my father told my mother that he had said to Rosemary that he would appreciate it if she watched out for me because I was all alone in the world. I had no brothers or sisters. I had no cousins. And he said I had very few friends. Well, she said, I sure will, Mr. Freeman. I sure will. And you know what? She never did. She never watched out. I mean, I never had any problems, but I guess her way of watching out for me is to never bother me anymore. It was amazing. And it just really goes to show what a little kindness will do. I hear parents getting on buses and cussing out kids that are bothering their kids, and that's understandable. It really is. It's understandable. And I really don't even know if today what my father said and the psychological tricks that he used, would that even work on today's kids? Who knows? And he really did save me from probably a whole lot of humiliation. So that's it. Thanks for watching.